Go get your brushes, go get your paint. This is how you do it, the Shoshie way. I'm gonna teach you, be ready to learn. Cause when I'm done, it's your turn. Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can enter my world, watch what grows. And when I'm through, why not have it go? Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can enter my world, watch what grows. And when I'm through, why not have it go? We paint miniatures, we paint miniatures, we paint miniatures. Turn on, tune in, hear what I say. Watch real closely, enjoy your stay. You'll see me painting from up above. And if you like it, give it that love. Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can enter my world, watch what grows. And when I'm through, why not have it go? Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can enter my world, watch what grows. And when I'm through, why not have it go? We paint miniatures, we paint miniatures, we paint miniatures. We paint miniatures, we paint miniatures, we paint miniatures.
Hello, it is Shoshie and we are live and it is Tuesday, almost February. I've got Arthur and Merlin from Spira Mirabilis. It's a limited edition model and it's pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and show you on the overhead camera. How's everybody? I see Will and Bachelor. Hello. And let's do switch cameras here. Overhead. There. Here he is. Look at that. Now, I've got his arms for the sword, the little kid arms. Oops, he goes like this. And I just finished, you can kind of see the seam underneath his armpits where I attached his arms. He's got arms and forearms. So that's going to go like that. But I think I'm going to put that on. So I'm going to sub-assemble paint that. So I'm going to put this back in the box that he came in so that I don't lose him. Somebody else be my second brain and remind me that's where I put it if I lose it, because you know that I put things in places for safekeeping. This is the box, the blue box with the tree on it. So it looks like this is one of 863 from Spear Mirabilis, based on the Arthurian legend. And this is so cute. This is kind of how he comes packaged in all of this little stuff. Anyway, I'm going to put this back in here. I really love how Lucas he's the sculptor, how he packages everything. It's pretty simple, like a little jewelry box with an embossed foil. Not on the floor, exactly. I want to show you guys something. I'm going to lift my camera up a little bit. You can kind of see I've got the new Redgrass Games mat here, and this is really nice. I don't know if I'll be able to have you be able to see this. I might have to focus it, but it's very handy. Water to paint, so base color, like 3 blobs of paint and 1 blob of water. Edge, I don't know how accurate this is. I haven't actually tested out the formulas, but it basically has an edge, edge highlight. Recess, so there's a lot more water in a recess versus paint. A wash has a lot, even more water, 1 to 3, and then glaze is 3 to 1. Oh, it's the same. They're about the same. Glaze is about the same as a wash. Anyway, I am going to switch this music because it's a little too fast for me right now. I think I'm going to fast forward. There we go. A little bit chill, a little bit more chill. Yes, and it also has, you can't quite see, it's got a measuring tool over here with both inches and centimeters, which is awesome. It also has on this side base sizes, 30, let's see, 25, 30, 32, 40, 50, 60, and then a 65. And then under here, it's got the square bases, 20, 25, 40, and 50. And up in this right corner, I've got a color wheel sticker that's pretty nice. Obviously, it's not a functional, it doesn't move, right? But you can kind of get the idea just by glancing at it, what the opposites are. And also tertiary, right? These are the secondaries, and tertiaries are the right here. These are in the middle of there. And that's all the features of the new mat. And then I have this right here. This is their glass palette. And I talked to Batalur, and I'm going to turn that music down just a skosh here. Let me know if you can hear this just as loud or not, or if it's about the same. I just turned it down just a skosh. Anyway, it's lower for me anyway. So we talked about this. It's just a piece of, it's tempered glass. So that means if it shatters, it's not going to have big shards. It's going to break up into little pieces. It's also going to be extra durable. You don't want to scratch it though, because if you score tempered glass, because it's heat treated, it will. You ordered the Redgrass glass palette. I do like it. I've just cleaned it off with a little warm water and alcohol. I think it cleans best. I think you could probably use like Windex or a Dettol or something with the alcohol in it just fine, and it fits really nice in my Redgrass Games palette holder right there. I'm enjoying it. I think it is, I think there's some people who like dry palettes are gonna love it. I think I might be more of a wet palette person at this point, but I'm gonna go ahead and use the dry palette here. So good, the music is good, perfect, awesome. Anyway, I'm gonna use the dry palette just to show you how it works and see it in action. And I am sponsored, just so you know. I am sponsored. I got this from Redgrass Games in exchange for showing it off and telling everybody about it. I don't usually take on sponsorships that I don't personally believe in and use regularly. Like, I'm actually not sponsored by Steinelrez at all. Every now and then he will give me a bottle if I'm at a convention, but I don't get sent stuff by him, but I love Steinelrez and everybody knows that. Okay, let's start. Okay, so here's the deal. This, if you've ever seen my gnomes, in fact, I'll go get them and show you. I did some gnomes by Lucas a long time ago, and I kind of want to do this bust in a similar style. And he's got books and everything too. It's going to be really fun. I have to think about how I want to paint this. I think I want to... You have craft paper on your desk that you wipe your brushes on, so it ends up looking like a jet. Yeah, exactly. Well, and here's the nice thing about this mat. It actually cleans up really well with alcohol as well. And the best thing about it so far, I have not wiped off the printing on it. So that is really good, because I have some other mats that I've just put a little alcohol on, and they're cutting mats. They're not meant for painting on. And so I end up always wiping off all the marks on those. So this is nice because I like having a gray background to paint against. And I like being able to, I mean, there's some schmutz here, but it's not a lot. And I always use paper towel for my Jackson Pollock stuff. So I'm going to set that, I'm going to get this ready to prime. I wanted to show you guys the whole, here's my little paper towel. I wanted to show you the whole process of priming and everything, because it's very important to the look at the end. And I'm also trying to figure out, how am I going to get my darkest recesses? Because I kind of want to prime white, but so I think the best thing to do would be to prime it black from underneath and then prime it white at the top. And I should have taken that out. Hold on a second. There we go. This was a sponsored thing from oh my goodness, it's been so long. What is the name? Rathcore. Rathcore.com. You can get these at. They're really awesome holders. Probably my favorite holders ever. Robert, hi. The mat was interesting. You wish you had a more involved color wheel. I know, that's true. Well, you can always, I guess, you know, have the color wheel, the regular color wheel nearby, right? If it had been more involved, it wouldn't be a sticker. I think it would have been more costly for them probably as well. Let's see if I can get this to go back in. I need like a wrench or something here. There. Ah, okay, perfect. Now it's nice and in there. All right, so we've got airbrush. Ready to go? Is it ready? Yes, it's ready to go. We're gonna prime black from underneath. You love your Rathcore. Use it without the handle and it helps so much. Yeah, the one, is this the one without the, or the other, the little one? Is that the one you use? Great investment, I agree. And it makes your painting better. I swear to God it does, because for many reasons, you are not so tired with your hands because you've got something to lean your hand on. Your brush control better. All right, let's get this started. I don't want to get paint on my new mat, so I'm actually going to spread this all the way out. I don't want to get airbrush. That's not a good sign. Why? Hold on. It's a bad sign. Oh, there was a little bit of dried paint. Let's try now. There we go. All right, got enough. I'm going to start with underneath. I'm just going to do little short bursts because I want it to dry very quickly, and the more diffuse it is, the more it will dry fast. And I know I'm not wearing a mask, and that is bad, so don't do what I'm doing. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and paint inside the recesses. There we go. There is a tiny little frog in this boy's pouch. It's so cute. See, I'm trying to get all the recesses first. Okay. Much more stable. You hold it like a baseball. Oh yeah, the ring. I have that as well. So when I backed the Kickstarter and I got everything. He's talking about this. This is really nice. It is much better than, like, you know, you can always get medicine bottles or things like that, but this is so nice with the corks and stuff. And you can put the different rings around it. All right, we're gonna go paint more here. Like I said, I'm going to be kind of the opposite of zenithal. What's the opposite of zenith? Beloweth? It's a belowethal. It's beloweth. 10 points to the first person who knows the opposite of zenith. Okay, I'm just gonna hold this hat. Get it kind of dark in the back so that we have sort of a shadow back there already, because we can kind of fade to black. So we're establishing our light source. I need to get the face on the boy. This is gonna be tricky because I kind of have to shoot from, yeah, that worked. Just have to shoot under his arms. That's scary. Ah! But it's okay. Nadriel bathos. Nadriel sounds interesting. Yeah. Okay. That is looking kind of a mess right now, but that's okay. I'm going to dump this black and then switch over to I might actually switch to the green. So I've got a mid color. So I like to do this green for skin tones. And so I'm going to show you this is olive green. You don't have to use olive green primer. You can use olive green. Oh, I think I didn't get enough black out. Yeah, I didn't get enough of the black out. Give me a second. Let me use my brush. Spray through brush. There we go. There. I want it just clear enough. Anyway, so olive green is what I like to use for skin, and that will be my mid-tone. There's a little bit of green. This is, see, some of the black is still coming through, so I need to spray it till the green comes through. There we go. It's nice and green now. Well, something like that. Let's see. I think there's still a lot of black in there. It's okay. I will remember when you did it with the Flower Witch, and yes, the Flower Witch used the green as well. I agree. That's kind of what I'm going for. So it's pretty dark, but we're gonna go over it with the white as well. Yeah, we're gonna have to. Get that ear, and he's got another little hand over here. Yeah, stuff is way too dark, but thankfully with the airbrush, you can do lots of layers. I'm going to switch to this other green that I've got. This one is a sage green. It's a lot lighter. There's a little bit of a clog going on with my airbrush too, and that's not good. This is what you're here for, the green skin base tone. Yes, good. I like to do that. I like my green skin base. Well, and especially for Lucas's stuff. I feel like his pieces, my style and his style go really, really well together. And so I feel like his pieces look really good with my green skin tone. All right, cleaning this out a little bit more because I think it was a little bit dark. There we go. Let me get that last little bit of green out. Basically like the ring and the bow. Wait, okay. All right, let's hope this is lighter because this is already way too dark. Oh yeah, this is much, much better. Yeah, already you can see it's lighter. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit this. Ah, look at that. That's already better, tons. But that nice green shadow from, there we go, he's cute. Yes. Trying to get it to, there we go. Much, 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 much better. Okay, we got a much better thing. Now with the white, gotta clean it out again. So you can see this is like what I would consider maybe advanced priming, but you're doing a lot of underpainting. You're painting in your shadows and your lights in advance. It saves you a lot of time. And because I'm a watercolorist or a former watercolorist, I really like to have kind of a watercolor dreamy look on some of my pieces. All right, now I need a little bit of airbrush medium. This is Liquitex airbrush medium because I'm going to use the white primer. White primer is a pain in my tuchus, and so I need to thin it with something. This is, I feel like it's, when it gets older, it gets funny. So I'm going to try to put some, let me get this, make sure this is clean. All right, good. I'm going to put a little bit of white in there. I'm just going to put a couple drops of the medium. Just like 3 drops in there. And then I'm going to stir it up a little bit. So the medium won't thin it, right? It will just, you know, make it smoother and go through, there we go, go through the brush faster, better. And now, so you look at that, beautiful. get that beautiful gray beard. And the owl. And the boy. See? What? I don't know. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm on streaming right now. All right, I am almost done here, hopefully. It looks pretty much better. Let's get his hair. I'm just hitting the side of this hat a little bit. There we go. All right, I might have to go back in with my green a little bit, but that is the basics of my priming. Okay, and then I'm gonna rinse out my brush, otherwise I'll probably don't want to let paint dry in my airbrush because I'm super bad about that. And I believe we'll probably be doing mostly hand brushing the rest of this, my guess. There might be a little bit of airbrush. So what do you think of, let's go ahead and look at this. What do you think of how it looks so far? You can see all the things. He's trying to get Merlin to pay attention, or sorry, Merlin's trying to get Arthur to pay attention to the books. He's trying to teach him. And the boy is like, I found a sword. Which you'd think it would be backwards. Like, I felt like Merlin didn't show up in Arthur's life until after he pulled the sword. But I could be wrong. I think this is based on the famous movie company that will come and sue you if they think it's, you know, you violated their copyright. All right. I am wiping off my needle because it had a lot of black paint on it still. And I'm going to do one more spray through with the airbrush cleaner. Oh, it's still got a lot in there. Hold on. Okay. By the way, if you have anything that you've been working on and you want to put it in the whip trip gallery, and we can maybe do a whip trip a little bit, I would like to see what people are working on. He's amazing, so different to the resin color. Yeah, okay. So let's get this green. Again, actually I want to use the darker green a little bit. Just a smidge. I'm just going to put a little bit on my palette. You can't see my palette because it's in the way. Let me clear off things. Okay. Let's put this back in our holder. There we go. It's so nice to have the holder because you're not touching the model. There's a little bit of my green. And I've got my brush. I'm just going to pull this out. I'm going to take my glasses off. And I'm just going to glaze this green over the white and down into the beard, because you kind of want to show, when you're painting beards, you want to show the skin coming through the, you know, because the hair on the beginning of the beard is not as thick as the hair in the middle of the beard. Because I know everything about beards. I'm woman-splaining to you guys about beards. There we go. All right, see how pretty? Oh my gosh, I love him. Just do a little bit. into the lip here as well. I like how when I'm pulling that down, it really kind of elongates his face a little bit too. All right, and then we're going to give a glaze of this on the hand. I can be a little thicker with this because it is a little bit more shadowed than the face was. And it's also not a focal point as much. Okay, same thing on the other hand. There we go. And even though it's underneath the book and shadowed, I'm going to get it over here too on this face of the hand. There. And on the boy, this is again a thinner glaze because we don't want to hide the white too much on his face. And I'm kind of pushing the paint down into the shadowed areas on his face so that I get a smooth, I want as smooth of a glaze as I can get. So that when it's dry, it's just got that hint. I need more green. 1 second. Where'd I put it? There it is. I'm going to set that there because I might need that later. So here's the thing about primer. Primer is just paint, right? So that means you can paint with it. And what's nice also about painting with primer is it's a lot more durable in the long run. I'm avoiding his teeth a little bit. Not enough, but I want to avoid his teeth a little bit more than that. All right, give me fingertips. Okay, I'm all set. I'm debating, what do I want to paint first? Do I want to paint the hat first? I think I'm going to start with the skin. I think that's the part that you're probably the most interested in. So this is what I did with the Flower Witch, is I got my Reichland Flesh Shade wash. It's got a little bit of a red, that's it. It's got a red tone to it. You need to make sure all that sediment on the bottom is well mixed in. I'm just going to get a little bit of it, put that on my palette. And then I'm going to make sure this is dry. Start in the recesses of the darkest parts, like where his eyes are and his mouth. I'm just going to glaze over that skin with it. This is going to give us our really nice dark recesses. See? I can see all of his little wrinkles. And this is still wet, so I can go over the child. I'm going to go ahead and put some of this down into his mouth because I'm not going to be able to get in there with paint and not mess it up. So the wash is nice because it will get down in there without getting too much on him. And in the ear too, you want a lot to settle into the ear hole. And again, you want this relatively smooth. Don't let it pool in places that aren't recesses. Brush it up into the hair because you do want that hairline to have a little bit of a dark shadow. grab some more. Please ask questions if you have them while I'm painting, because it's going to be so much easier to explain things as we go. All right, on the hand, I can be a little heavier with the wash because, again, this is a darker hand. And then back over here, I need more. Okay, good. Good. I need a reference of an old guy. This is so important when you're painting skin. You need references. So I'm going to go to my Google. Hold on a second. I'm going to look and see what I can find. I'm going to Google old man. Or maybe I'll Google Merlin and see if I can find some actors that played Merlin. Ooh, you know who would be great is, I cannot remember the name, the guy who played Saruman. Christopher Lee. I'm going to look up Christopher Lee because he's a perfect reference for this kit. It looks like Christopher Lee a little bit. Okay. Yes. Though it totally looks like Christopher Lee. All right, images. I need a good one of Christopher Lee's face. Images. Here we go. All right, I'm trying to find one where he looks like Saruman. Maybe I'll just Google Christopher Lee Saruman. Sauron. Don't know where I got Saruman. Okay. That looks good. Okay, I found lots of things. Good. Okay. He looks a little mean, but that's okay. I'm going to try to find one where he looks less mean. All right, well this one is good, and this one, I think this one has better light, so I'm going to take this one. Open it in a new window, and then I will print it and show you how it looks. Hopefully it's not too tiny. Here we go. Yeah, it is tiny, but that's okay. Print. At least I know what to look for now. So, this is your next lesson in He's Amazing. Wait, is this sage green? Sage green was not the one I was brushing on. It was olive green. It's a little darker. Because I wanted it to be a little, because, yeah, I glazed it on though. I didn't brush it on. So let me show you. So here's oh, I got the wrong face. Hang on, there we go. This is the sage, this is the olive green. I thinned it out with water. So it's not a full concentration of it. So it's not going to be as dark as if I brushed it on. I'm going to go grab my thing off the printer. I'll be right back. Ooh, almost yanked. I'm caught on my sweater. Okay. All right, I'm low on ink, so this is not the best printout. No, I'm just gonna have to wing it, guys, but I'll show you what I'm gonna do. I think I'm going to use, I would like to use a satin paint for the skin. I'm gonna look and see if I've got satin medium with my Chimera paints. Actually, I might actually just use the Chimera paints with the satin medium. Let's see. Yep, here they are. This is my Chimera box. You can use any satin paint. Game Color works. See, there's my acrylic satin medium. You can buy satin medium. You do not need to buy the Chimera to get the satin medium. And this needs shaking. This is red oxide. I'm going to take a little bit of yellow ochre. This is how I'm making my flesh tones. I'm going to show you how to mix flesh tones from scratch. There's a little bit of magenta. That one that doesn't usually need. Here's white. And I don't know if I'll need any black or not. I might need a little bit of orange, maybe. Let's just play around with this and see what we get. So first, I'm going to use some of this red oxide. I'm going to show you how I'm going to mix this. Oh, that is runny. I think these might have been formulated for a wet palette. Let me shake this a little better. That's better. Yeah, wow, it's runny. It's been a minute since I used these. Okay, here's white. Okay, see, that's nice and thick. White is like that. Here's orange. And let's try. So usually I take some white and a little yellow, there we go, and a little bit of this, there we go. This is the red oxide and a little yellow and a little white, and then maybe a tiny bit of orange over here. Nope. Let's add a little bit more. That's brighter if we want to go brighter. This yellow is runny. There we go. That's a little bit more yellow. That's good. I'm going to start out with, I need to make a brown. So I'm going to mix my green with my red oxide and see if I can make a brown with that. There we go. Yep. A nice brown. And I can also mix some white with that to get some tan, a little bit of yellow here, a little bit of red. Okay, so that's a little bit more, that's pretty. Okay. I'm going to start on the hand because it's not as important as the face. And I need my satin medium. Where's that? Let's see what happens when I mix a little bit of that in here. It's going to be important because we're going to be doing this in glazes. And you can kind of see this Reichland Flesh shade actually kind of dried out everything. I'm not sure what happened here. It's okay, but I'm glazing this over the highlights. Basically, you're highlighting now with the peach. And I need the medium to thin it to make it into more of a glaze. And that underpainting is going to shine through, which is perfect because we want it to seem like it is skin. Skin is not opaque. Skin is translucent, and so having those little undertone parts to it is going to make it look more real. That's why I don't usually ever use, I'm going to use a little bit more of this red oxide here on this knuckles to show the blood vessels are close to the skin where there is a bone, right? Just a little bit of this, again with the glaze. And on the end of the fingertip. It's kind of amazing how it's already coming alive, isn't it? Get the thumb over here. And give him a little bit more of this brown. This hand is a little bit more shadowed, so when we glaze this on, we're not glazing it on heavy. And the way I'm brushing this on, I'm going to show you on my hand here. I'm kind of sweeping it. Does that make sense? See how I can kind of control how the paint piles by sweeping it, and I can push the paint into the recesses or onto the highlight. That is what I'm doing. Okay, he needs a lighter. I'm going to go brighter with this orange over here just a little bit because there's a little bit of light. Ooh, that's pretty bright. So I need a little bit more medium because stuff's drying out on me. I don't want it to look chalky. That's the other reason for the satin medium. You don't want the chalkiness. People are going to be like, what color is it? I mixed it. I know. It's so frustrating sometimes when people, but if you learn how to mix your colors, you can paint anything. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And then over here, we're going to do the same thing with a little bit of that bright orangey color. It's going to look like a painting, not like a miniature painting, right? Like that's how I like to paint this stuff. It's more realism. Need to get back into my brown over here. Ah! Okay, I'm going to look at chat. What recipe? Like you're using 3 paints, always out of the pot. Yep, exactly. Basically, I'm going to add a little bit more yellow. Yellow sometimes brightens it a little bit. I am going to go over his nails with this yellow first. A little bit of yellow, a little bit of white. Not a true white, right? Because I don't want his nails to look like white, right? I just want them to look natural. Who knows why Merlin's fingernails are that might have to fix that. We can make our own ivory. We can come over here, take a little bit of this, little tiny bit of yellow, and maybe a little bit more yellow. We get our ivory like that. It's a little lighter than that original color that I mixed, which is totally fine. Okay, and then over here. I like that. Okay. I'll be doing the same thing on the teeth. I think I went a little heavy with the satin medium. It's drying pretty shiny. That's okay, because I can always, the paint itself is matte. It's really matte, so you can always layer a little matte paint over it. I see a little piece of something in between his fingers here. It's like a piece of the mold. So you had to jump out for a meeting? Are you using acrylics on the glass palette? Yes, and I'm using the Chimera, and so it's got a satin medium with it, but you can buy satin medium from And it's only if you don't have satin paints. If you have Citadel, Game Air, Game Color, what else is satin? P3, those are all satin paints. Those will all work fine for this technique. If you don't have satin paint, this is so shiny. I need to go back over it with some matte paint. You can see it's starting to dry on me a little bit too. Let's mix a darker color over here. Maybe a little bit more red, maybe a little bit more brown. That's pretty. Okay, now I'm going to start on the brightest point of his nose. Hey, Mike, can stop. There we go. And I'm just going to basically highlight the nose. I'm going to start highlighting all of the spots that are volumes on his face. So he's got these little kind of areas. I'm pulling it back to the back. I need a little water because I want it to go thinner. Oh, it didn't do it. So I can rest my hand on this bar while I pull this way. And I can grab some water. And I'm glazing it. Glaze is very thin. I want some of that green to show up. I want to give him a little bit of age spots. I can do that later, I think. Okay, we think to get, oh, he has little bottom teeth. That's cool. I didn't notice that before. So remember how I talked about how in the beard, I'm going to pull down some of this. Oh, we got a subscriber. Awesome. Pull this down into his beard. Later we'll be pulling the beard up into the face. Give me a second. Hi, Ferk. How are you? We're painting our Merlin right now. I'm going to give this nostril just a little bit more reddish color because it has, and the same thing with the end of his nose. Noses, here's the spots on the face that have capillaries. Your cheeks, your nose, your chin, your lips, all those have a lot of more red and the blood is coming up. But you can also go do the zones of the face. What is the zones? Yellow, red, and blue. I don't use that very much because I have my own thing, but it works as well. All right, so again, glazing up, pulling that paint toward the highlight, the highest point on that skin. So these are called the nasolabial folds on the sides of his mouth. Nasolabial folds, and then here's his cheekbone. And stuff is drying on my palette. See, I think wet palette might be better for this, but that's okay. We're gonna make it work. Over here. Remember the yellow we talked about, that band of, you can put some of that yellow in up here. Let's add a little bit to the skin tone. Wait, was it yellow? Yeah, yellow at the top, blue at the bottom. Might have to lighten that up a little bit. And I can see his eyelids are very, very small. Got a lot of little details and wrinkles and stuff in his face. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry while we go back over the lips a little bit. With this, I added a little bit of the Indian red. Is that what it's called? Ochre, red oxide, the original. There we go. That looks good. I'm just gonna give him just a smidge of cheeks because he was looking a little sallow. We can always glaze over it with a lighter color. Get his nose as well. Coming alive. Okay, he doesn't have his highlights really. I'm gonna go ahead and do his eyebrows, I think, maybe. I feel like I want his beard to have a blue tint to it. Let me see what color blue I have in my... Looking good? You're doing good? Yeah, that's awesome. This is coming along pretty quickly, actually. He's looking good. He's got tiny teeth I want to paint. I'm gonna grab a Citadel paint that has a little bit of blue in it. Just Fenris gray, no. Rust gray. This is good. This is also thin too because it's the airbrush one. He needs to be shaken a little bit more. Okay, let's try this on the beard. Such a pretty gray. Glasses off again. Just gonna pull this down and I'm gonna highlight it with white. I'm gonna highlight it up to white eventually. I just want this to be the undertone. Kind of to match the art. And I'm gonna brush, see how I brush this up into his face a little bit? Pretty. Citadel paints really are nice. They're just so expensive. That's my biggest beef with them. But they really do have nice coverage and they glaze really pretty. And I guess they're easier for me to get. There we go. We're going to, again, brush up into the face some. Because he is Merlin and not Saruman, he can have blue hair. So I don't know if you guys know this, but we have begun the sculpting for the next model, the Merman, and it is coming along okay. I'm having to do quite a bit of art direction on this because the artist, the sculptor, isn't really familiar with Filipino features. So I'm having to like talk to her about it a lot. All right, that's beautiful. Love it. All right, I'm gonna just, again, brush a little bit more of this into his face. This blue. See how that blue all of a sudden popped that face forward? Just having that cool color. I'm debating on whether or not I want his robes. Let me look at the artwork real quick. Pretty sure. Hold on a second. And I think it is the Merlin. I'm just going to Google Merlin and Arthur and see what comes up. Images. Merlin doesn't look super in that. So I didn't know Arthur and Merlin was a show, apparently, and they had a young adult TV show as well. This isn't working for me. Let me do Merlin old man. Here we go. Images. Okay, so this is interesting. Check this out. It's got white hair and definitely a bluish beard. This is great for the old man's skin as well. So it looks like he's much more peachy and yellowy. So I'm gonna go grab some of my yellow ochre here. It's a little bit more, not as runny. And I need my ivory maybe. Yeah. I think it needs a little yellow as well. Hold on. There. The Chimera yellow is, oh, I'm just going to use this yellow instead. Use it with my satin medium. There we go. So that yellow is going to brighten things up. We need a kind of a pastel yellow. Let's do a little bit of the ochre in here. Ooh, it's not quite, actually that might work quite a bit. Let's try adding a little satin medium to it. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to highlight, yes, highlight the bits that are even more pronounced. It's got lots of little features here. It's a little bit impressionistic almost. See, when we use the satin medium and glaze, that red that's underneath that cheek is still gonna, hopefully if we glaze it right, is going to shine up from underneath there a little bit. Pull it down into the beard a little bit. That really helped. Holy cow. Nice. Just give him a little dot of highlight on the end of his nose as well. All right, I'm going to grab some of this, a little bit of the ivory, some of the medium here. I'm going to see if I can get into these teeth or not. Just hit the bottom of the teeth, or the top of the teeth, sorry. Just a smidge. All right, Now, again, with the white and a little bit of the rust gray, I'm going to layer up the hair. Just hitting the ends of it. Ooh, see, that's too much. Too far down. I'm using these kind of quick little strokes so it feels like the pattern of the beard, right? And I'm using the underpainting of the blue to be the shadow, right? So we can kind of see the hair pattern. And in places where it's going to be more full, the hair is going to be less shadowed. I'm going to, you know, do a little heavier stroke. But each place that it is quote unquote highlighted, I'm just doing more very, very thin little lines. And again, up into the cheek area where he's got whiskers blending into the face. And you're just kind of layering these little strokes up till we get them to be the right value for the beard. And then I think the temples always have things a little bit more white as well. So this is sort of a combination overbrush and little tiny, like I said, little tiny hair strokes here. All right, I'm gonna check chat. To be honest, how you are doing the beard, that's exactly how I did the fluffy fur texture on the KDM antelope. So good. What is going on? So hold on a second. He doesn't look on camera how he looks to me in real life. Hold on. Okay, so so one of the things that's happening on his face, I need to put the black into his eyes real quick because this is not black. I noticed that he's way too yellow now, I think. Put a little black. Painting the whole eyeball black. I'm gonna flip it. Oh, he's so cute. Oh my God, I love old men.
Heyo.
Mike's like, heyo. All right, I'm gonna begin with the blue on the eyebrow. I think I want his eyebrows to be a little bit darker gray, so I'm gonna add a little black and see what happens. Can't confirm to me whether or not eyebrows go gray last or not. I guess he could still, we can always lighten it up. Okay, I feel like I need to work on his face again. It's not quite there. It's way too satin. I think this is going to, you know what? I'm going to use instead the anti-shine from Army Painter and see what happens first. It has a little bit of matte medium in it. Actually, it has a lot of matte medium in it. I'm just going to use just a small amount. See what happens when I mattify his one side of his face. I'm just going to do one side and see what happens. So one of the things matte medium does is it kind of blends all of the different colors. I just went over the rest of his face. I just couldn't wait. I'm too impatient. All right, let's let that dry. Let's do this on the hand as well. It just kind of lets all those colors blend with the eye. All right, let's let that dry and see what happens. I'm hoping it is going to help. I think he needs to be peachier. I might need to add a little bit of orange and white. Let's try it. Yeah, a little bit, maybe not. Let's add a little bit of red oxide to it. Oh, there we go. A little bit more white. I'm gradually kind of phasing out that green. There's a little bubble. That's better. So some of his age lines are a little heavy, so I'm kind of filling them in a little bit with the paint. Give him some filler, Botox. Okay, that's looking nice. It does need some darkness though. What can we do? Let's go in with this dark burgundy mahogany. That'll be really good. Okay, I'm gonna do this mahogany up into the shadow of his hat first. Give us some depth somewhere, and then I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can go ahead and repaint in some of his age lines. That one's too, he looks like he has a scar almost. Here we go. Ooh, I like that, just that little bit of glaze of the burgundy. Let's do a little bit more some places. Now it's been a while since I taught this, so it is a little bit of winging it here. I learned how to do age makeup in high school, and when you're doing stage makeup, you kind of want these lines to stand out. And you kind of paint them all in, right? And then we're going to highlight them. I feel like there is still a line there. Let's do a little bit of shading right here. Feeling real, at least. Isn't that beautiful? Let's do that burgundy in his corners of his mouth here. Now that kind of made him look too frowny. That pulled it down too much, so I'm going to erase that. It was still dry. I'm going to get a little bit of magenta. Magenta will brighten things up a little bit again. Just a thin amount. I'm going to use the matte medium and a little bit of this magenta. Tiny bit of satin medium. Let's see what happens. We can glaze this over parts of his features. Look at that, magenta really brought him to life. Go over the knuckles, because the knuckles are, again, where capillaries are. Get a little bit of this oxide. And of course the fingertips, which around the cuticle as well a little bit. It's hard to get the fingertips on this. He's got a very aquiline nose, in my opinion. All right, now eyes. Eyes are tricky. He's got very tiny eyes. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna grab some of my white. Is my white still even dry, or not dry yet? I'm gonna highlight the edges of his eyebrows. You know, like old guys, their eyebrows start to wing out, become little caterpillars. Flip it upside down again. So cute. I thought I was going to go darker on the eyebrows, and I think I went lighter. I'm going to go ahead and put some more white in the temple again. And again on this there's a big volume right here on his beard, because I want to represent the thickness of the hairs on his chin. I'm going to really pull that white up. All right, I think we need to go to his hat now, because I need to put my glasses back on too. What is happening? Hold on. You guys are not seeing the real thing. Hold on. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to adjust my camera. I think my contrast is too high. Let me see. Configure video. Because he does not look like this in real life. Okay, hold on. Let's do contrast. No. Maybe it's sharpness. Sharpness seems. Maybe that line. Well, he looks craggedy, doesn't he? What is the deal? Let me try my focus. Nope, it's not focus. Go back to saturation a little bit. That's better. It's looking better. That was a little bit desaturated, maybe. Oh, we'll leave it. I think that looks close enough. Okay. Saturate. Yeah, it was saturation. I think that's what it was. I'm going to take a drink break real quick. Hang on a second. If you are sitting in your chair, do a little stretch with me. Just a little stretch. Oh, that feels nice. Okay. I need to look at this without my glasses again. So, not happy with the face. Hold on. I'm going to look for my P3s. I think that's my problem, is that my colors are not what I want. Here's some P3. I'm just going to grab some skin colors off my wall here. This is a good one. I used to say, like, don't mix satins and flats together, and that's still kind of holds true. Here's some more paints. All right, these are very pinky, but I feel like that's what it kind of still needs. All right, let's take a look at these. You think he looks amazing? Okay, well, I'm kind of iffy. This is Cardic Flesh. This is a satin paint from P3. It's got a really nice creamy texture to it. I need to open this up. Whoa. Got a little paper clip. It's been a minute since I used this. Holy cow. All right, I'm gonna put this on the palette. Ooh, oh, what happened? Hold on. Oh, it just needs to be mixed more. It's got a green, there we go. The medium got separated. All right. This is nice. So what's nice about the P3 paints is they thin out and glaze like a dream. Yes. Much better. I'm gonna have to lighten things up again. With a little bit of this, there we go, the ivory. Thin, thin, thin. I'm doing little tiny, kind of almost like scrubbing circles. I think his wrinkles were too deep. I got too realistic with him. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay. I wish this were a little bit more technical than it is. I'm gonna see if I can paint some. So let's see, where is this guy looking? He's kind of got really tiny eyes, so I'm just gonna give him a little bit of a glancing toward Arthur. I'm just going to paint the whites of his eyes. And then I'll go in and put the pupil in a minute. Get that teeth again. Ah. Hey, Matt. We're painting the Merlin. He's looking a little bit rough. Let me see if I can show you guys a better picture. Maybe my camera. See if this shows up better for you guys. Yeah, it's something about my camera is my overhead camera is not doing the greatest job, but we're getting there. I'll just have to show you how it's looking. Bachelor said it looks amazing, so I trust him. All right, the child's face is going to be this lighter color, right? Because he's a child, he's going to have more brightness to him. Let's add a little ivory to that. I'm going to start with the darker P3 first and highlight up. I need the water. Water. See how I'm pulling up toward the volume, which is his cheek. And that leaves that thinner amount on the bottom there. You gotta let things dry in between your layers, otherwise it will like start to pill and not look good at all. See, now I can come back and get that next layer. You agree it looks great? Okay, I'm glad, because it looks like terrible on my computer screen. And I'm not sure why. Maybe I need to adjust my monitor. All right, I'm just going again, pulling the paint up to the volumes. There's a little schmutz on the end of his nose. It's like the worst place for it. There's like I guess like a dried paint bubble on his nose. What happened? All right, I got it off. This is tricky because I have to kind of go around his arms a little bit. All right, again, pulling toward the cheek, which is where the top of that volume is. Turning it around instead of turning the brush, turn the model. Pulling that bead of paint. There's like a little ball of paint, and I'm pulling it toward the top of that volume. I'm going to let that dry some. This is a slow process. Okay, just a little bit of orange. And there we go. I'm going to add a little bit of this ochre. And we need to get that back into the ivory. A little bit of this, yes. I need a lot more ivory now. There we go. There's our light peach. See, this is a highlight for the last layer. Looking more and more realistic. I like it. Probably should have painted his face after I put those arms on, or before I put the arms on rather. Okay, starting to get smooth a little bit. I need to let that dry. I'm going to try a little bit of ink. I'm going to try a little bit of this Inktensive chestnut ink, just a tiny bit, a thin layer. I need to water it down just a smidge, just like that much. That layer of ink is hopefully going to, again, blend all of my colors together. He's a little orange now. Oh my goodness. It helped a little bit. Kind of sponging it up a little bit. There we go. Let it dry. Whenever you feel like you're going in the wrong direction, it's in that ugly stage right now, I think. Okay, here's that light peach again. Come back and start finding my volumes. That green off that nose. There we go. This side of the face is really tricky to paint right here because he is behind those arms. All right, that's looking cute as heck. Let that dry. Now we get to use the magenta. Is there enough of it? Nope, it's not. Okay, a little bit magenta. Watch how much this makes this boy come alive. Now I've got his skin tone is different than the old man. The old man's skin, he doesn't have as much light, right? He's more tan. A little bit. I'm going to use a little bit of this thinned out magenta. And I'm going to hit that nose. And those sweet cheeks. Little child. Too much magenta right there. Very careful to glaze this on really carefully because you don't want it to be super bright. Chin, a little bit on the chin. Look at how alive he looks now. How stinking cute. Get his bottom lip. Remember, the lips are also one of those, you can add a little bit of the Indian, or the oxide rather. It's not letting me. There. Make the top lip darker. Top lips are always darker. Okay. I'll let that dry. We're going to get in there with his eyes. How cute. Let's see. Black. Here we go. Again, this is just that little bit of black for his eyeballs. Now he looks possessed for a minute. I am going to take a little bit of this black, a little bit of this. I need a little bit of green as well. Sometimes you can go back in with the green and blend. Let me see, where is it? Here it is. Just a smidgen. I'm going to mix it with my P3 color so I can get sort of a color in between peach and green. And then blend a little bit. Oh, I found another little paint bubble. Gross. There. All right, I think we need to get the bright peach now for some of this child's highlights. There we go. The bright color is going to really pop against that darker kind of green. We're going to do that all next to all of the shadows. I need an even brighter color now, like one of these maybe. This is basic skin tone from Vallejo Model Color. If it'll come out. Got my metal in here now. Whoops. Yeah, that's perfect. Sometimes it's hard to mix colors that are that luminescent. Okay, I'm gonna just take this. I'm gonna stipple. Ah! Stippling is tiny little dots till we get the right amount of paint density. Tiny little dots. Okay, all his little magenta went away on his nose, so I'm going to kind of bring it back here. Oop, too bright. There we go. That's better. Let's get in some more, like on his eyelid over here. There we go. He's looking good. I'm really happy with this kid. Blend it again. All right, the teeth are really bothering me now. I'm going to take a little bit of this and the satin medium. This is the ivory. Now he doesn't look quite so like a popper. So cute. All right, his teeth are not white enough for me. I need to add a little bit of white to that. They're just a little too ivory-ish. Gonna add a little satin medium to this white. Let's see what happens. A little bit more white. Got one tooth. One tooth is really ivory. Let's try to get the other tooth to at least match. There. Okay. Now I'm going to try to paint in his eye whites. Very small eyes that you probably wouldn't really be able to see the details of, actually. Okay. If you were Merlin or Arthur, what color is Arthur's hair? I'm going to go ahead and put in his eyes. I'll do black. Just like I did Merlin. This is tricky. I lost one of them. One of the sides of the eyes. There. Gotta flip it and make sure they look okay. I need to do his hair. And then I need to make his eyelids a little bit darker too. Things are starting to dry up on this palette a lot. What I might do is switch back to my web palette. I like that. And I gotta get his bottom teeth too. Oy. Teeth are not fun. Ish. I think I'm gonna make his hair blonde. Or ochre, maybe ochre. Yeah. See what happens when we glaze this. I'm gonna have to repaint his ear. See how nice the white is as the, if you were to try to put yellow over the black, it would just not work. That's cute. I'm gonna give him just a little burgundy in here. And some of the shadows. All right. Probably needs more, but okay, this might be a good spot to stop. Let's see. I'm going to paint these little cuticles real quick. There we go. All right, tell me what you think. I think we will stop here. And I will probably, what I will do is, I don't know if I'm going to stream again, but we're definitely going to do a Discord to hang out tomorrow. So if you come to the Discord, maybe you will be able to see more progress on him. There we go. A little bit more red on the end of his nose. There. I definitely need to work on the face. My eyes are not. He had black hair, and not in the movie. Not in the movie. He didn't. Hold on. I'm checking. Let's see. So this is loosely based off of this cartoon, because there's our Merlin, right? And there's our owl. I don't want to get anybody in trouble with, again, a certain very litigious company. But yeah, I do think that the blue is gonna be the rest of this. I'll probably paint the rest of this. We can do the blue real quick. We'll do the blue. I think it'll look good, especially with that beard now that we got the beard on. We can always add more dark blue if we need to. Yeah, I think it does need to be darker. Let's do Incubi. That might be dark. That might be too green. Yeah, it is. Well, you can add some. We'll add some gray to it and see what happens. Maybe it'll dampen down a little bit. Nope. Let's try the rust blue. Hold on. Wait, this was rust blue. We'll try the other blue. The Fenris blue, is that what it is? I think I have it. Nope, I don't. Do I have it? Let me look one more place. Wait, I know. Here, this is it. Blue black. We'll do it in that. Yeah, that's the color. We'll add a little bit of this light blue to it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There we go. That is right. Yep. I'm going to end up highlighting this. I like that. Get around the edge of his hat here. Just use the side of my brush. Very pretty. Oh, I like it. So we'll give the whole sculpt basically it'll be more of a backdrop now. The robes are the backdrop for the face. I just noticed there is like a line here around his arm. I'm not sure if that's from the mold or from the original sculpt or what, but I'll have to sand it a little bit, probably later. Yeah, I like that dark blue. I'm gonna add a little bit of light blue. Kind of wet blend that in. I think that I'm going to stop here. Actually, before I stop, I want to add a little bit more of this light blue. I want to show you what I want to do with this. Wet blend that in. Okay, I'm all done for today. I think we're going in a good direction. He's looking cute as heck. We definitely need to work on the eyes of the boy. But Merlin's looking good. All right. Depends on what film you watch. Yes, exactly. All right, let's see. So thank you so much. Come tomorrow. We're going to do our Discord hangout, and we're going to paint. And let me just do a quick check. I don't think anybody put anything in wood chips, but we do have some. Yeah. Oh, Jen. Was that today? That was yesterday. Okay, so nobody's put anything in wood chips today. So we will just talk about things tomorrow in the hangout. Whoever is there. Yeah, thank you. All right, let me do my end thing. All right, guys, thank you so much. And we will be back again next month, and I will see you then.
Go get